So I just saw Lanterns, right? The new trailer. And also was hearing a lot of the reviews about, not reviews, but seeing a lot of videos about people's comment towards it. And after seeing the trailer myself, I'm going to just state my opinions on it, my pros, my cons, and do any of the criticism of what was being said about the trailer valid. So yes, my opinions, my thoughts on the Lanterns trailer. Personally, I thought the trailer was a good trailer, and I did enjoy a lot about it. And I'm just gonna break down some of the pros and the cons of what I enjoyed, because the things I did not enjoy were, I don't know if they weren't real deal breakers, but just criticisms of myself. But I gotta remember this is a adaptation. So one of the things I did enjoy was I enjoyed the feeling of it. It did have a very supernatural detective like feel, which I do in which I liked. I really do like that feel. Another thing was I enjoyed was I like that the Hal Jordan and John Stewart, they had a bit of friction between them. You can obviously tell based on some of the lines in the movie. Not movie, it's just a TV series, an 8 episode series. I don't know why I call it a movie. And that's something that I think they were trying to push. You can tell that Hal Jordan is the old school vet that's been through it all, and John Stewart's the new guy who's more by the books, military and very military centric. Very structured, as you can say, and you can tell that, and there was obvious tension between them. So that's another aspect I like, the duality of them too. And one other thing that I did like was I like how I don't know. I just like how the cinematography looked pretty good in the trailer. I like how they did the trailer. Now the cons of the trailer, even it had a very Green Lantern feeling. As in, number one, the color grade, very brown. For a show called Lantern, you would think it'll have more of a green like hue, but again, it's not called Green Lantern, it's just called Lantern, so that probably gives them the leeway to not make it very green. Number two, I didn't like the fact that Hal Jordan had to put on the suit. Like, it was in his closet. Okay. From what I can tell from all the original Lanterns lore, don't only when they secondly activate the ring, the suit just like appears on them, like, because of the ring. I didn't know they had to put it on. But then again, I never, in this universe, because this show, not movie, God, get my wording straight. We never actually see them put on a suit before. I mean, because this takes place in the same universe as Superman, so we never actually seen how Green Gardner Gal Gardner put on a suit before. So maybe they just wear suits now. I guess so. I don't know. I do know this takes place after Peacemaker 2, so I know it's within that realm. So is the detective work have to do with that one pocket dimension where they're gonna throw a bunch of meta villains in there? That's another thing I just want to know. And another thing, maybe that's what the series is going to be. Him trying to figure out the mystery about something like that, or maybe something else. I don't know. I didn't get back on topic because I do get off topic when I speak here because it makes it very hard for people to follow. Another dislike I didn't like was the fact that there was one ring. I didn't like. Do they share the ring? Are they sharing a ring? If that's the case, that's kind of off brand. Is it because he's giving is Hal Jordan just gonna give up his ring? Is Hal Jordan not gonna be part of this DCU, and it's just gonna be John Stewart and Gal Gardner? Also, I didn't like the fact that they make Hal Jordan xenophobic towards aliens. Because not so much like in the original continuity, he had an alien best friend. And I know I said this is basically an adaptation, but come on, man, that's not. I mean, you gotta be more faithful. There's some things you gotta be faithful when it comes to adaptations. Like, like Hal Jordan being xenophobic towards aliens is not Hal Jordan. That's not the essence of the character. But again, it did look entertaining. I did like how the trailer it looked. So I am gonna still watch the series. And I give the trailer like a 7 out of 10. Good. Not great. But not bad enough that I don't want to watch it. I'm still excited to see it. And are they gonna do and are they and I heard it is this takes place after Peacemaker, so are they gonna talk about that pocket dimension? Is their mission going to try to find that out? I don't know, because it does seem like a more grounded universal story. Which again, I do know the Green Lanterns are basically the detectives of like the space, but a very grounded detective store with Green Lanterns. I mean, they could have found any other superhero duo, but whatever. I digress. So they could have had like the Question involved in something like this. This probably would have been a better Question like series than whatever. Let's just continue on. It looked good. I'm still gonna watch it, and I don't know what you guys think. Speaking of news, another thing I want to speak about is Paramount just bought Warner Brothers. Everyone knows, DC is a subsidiary to Warner Brothers. Yeah, Paramount bought it, and Netflix just kind of gave up the whole thing when Paramount put in an offer. And they gave Netflix a few days so they can make a counter offer. Netflix basically just said, "You got it. Like, you got it." They didn't even bother fighting back, which I think is kind of crazy. So, yeah, Paramount's going to be owning Warner Brothers. And that creates all Warner Brothers products. As just DC is one of them. And I hope that, and everyone who knows anything about Paramount knows that, our president's a huge Paramount advocate. And I hope he doesn't put any propaganda in some of these new Warner Brothers movies, especially the new DC movie. I hope he doesn't try to advocate to get the firing of James Gunn through Paramount, because what happened in Superman, a character who was based off a country that our president's a huge ally with, loves them to death, does everything for them, basically go into war with them against our consent, and somehow Congress just voted for yes, because whatever. I'm not gonna get in depth for that. We're not gonna get in depth for that. I'm not trying to get this channel canceled. We changed the rules because you guys don't really care about these kind of topping points, which is stated off all my views. You guys don't care about these. You guys care about the dorky talks, but whatever. I just hope there will be no propaganda that our president pushes on Warner Brothers movies. They push on a DC movie, and hope Jane doesn't get fired. So we have to start voting with our dollar, and we all have to pay money and watch Lantern and also watch Supergirl, because then it makes them think that this product is valued, and it makes them want to keep James Gunn more. But if Supergirl is awful, then I am on full board of not watching it. If Supergirl is awful, but if it's good, man, we got to support with our dollar. And speaking of supporting with our dollar, I want to speak about how important it is of the Dakotaverse, the new history of Dakotaverse by DC Comics. Yes, the comic book realm. And look, I can break down this comic book like most other videos, and I can break down this XYZ on the whole story arc, which there are trillions of videos, and this comic's been out for over 3 weeks now. So there's nothing much I can tell you to break down the comic, but I can just tell you the significance of this comic and how this is another great example of when people say vote with your dollar. A lot of people always talk about in the DC fandom is, how come we don't have a single issue static comic, or why don't we have any milestone universe like Icon? Because this history of Dakotaverse is basically DC's way of saying, we will make it if you guys will buy it, and if you guys buy this, we are most likely going to make a static comic. We're most likely going to make a live wire comic. We're most likely going to make an Icon comic. But we don't know if you guys will actually buy that unless we put something out like this to test the waters to see if anyone's going to buy it. And we don't want to hear you guys complain about it on the internet, because you can complain about anything on the internet, but if no one's going to financially incentivize it, why will we continue it? And this is what I mean by, and this was a very good one shot. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It made me want to know more about Milestone. It makes me want to buy that $80 Milestone omnibus. It really did, because after seeing some of these characters in this one shot, it was very good, and it made me really want to buy more Milestone, like old Milestone, like Silver Age stuff. Is that Silver Age? Yeah, it's Silver Age. 90s is Silver Age, right? Yeah, like all those old, like that, that big omnibus of the Milestone stuff. It made me want to buy one of those, because I am going to buy one of those. And this is one of the reasons why I kind of, like, this whole Milestone, the Dakotaverse history thing, to me is the main reason why I probably got into comic books. No, not got into it. Actually buying comic books was because of reasons like this. For anyone who doesn't know, I only bought comic books, like actual bought hard issues and omnibuses of comic books last year in 2025. And the main reason was for multiple reasons. One, I was preparing for a bodybuilding show, and it was getting hard for me to watch TV. So reading and playing video games were the only thing I can actually do. Two, I wanted to support medias that I wanted to succeed, that I kept seeing on the internet that were good. And I wanted the companies who were creating these products to realize that this is demand for it. So I bought it. Even though if it was niche, maybe just the one person could probably be enough to just help make them think, one person's buying it, that might be enough to hit the threshold for them to make more. That's why I bought it. And were a lot of it Absolute? Yes, they were. Did I know Absolute Wonder Woman was gonna be a big hit? Nope. Absolute Wonder Woman is the best Absolute. Yes, Absolute Batman was, is really good too. All I'm trying to say here is, if you guys want to support something and you really do believe in it and you think it's something good, don't be afraid to help to pay for it. Because one thing I realized, we try to get things for free that we like, but we don't really want to support it, but we want to support with word of mouth. And sometimes if it's out your way to afford it, then that's fine. But if you can't support it, even if it's something small, just throw in a cup, then support it, buy it, show some love. Make sure, let the whatever, maybe it's the company or maybe just the writer themselves know that there's value in this. Because if they're doing something and no one, you can do something for the love of the game, but if there's no other incentive to let them know that people are actually interested in, then what's the point of doing it? Like the creator of Black Lagoon said, and I love Black Lagoon, he said, I will only continue Black Lagoon if people are going to buy it. And I bought one of the Black Lagoon's mangas, because again, when he said that, I was like, you know what, I want this to continue, and I wanted to see another anime. And I actually did catch up and read the manga too, and it's very good. So in aspects like that, yeah, you kind of have to vote with your dollar, vote with things. If you believe in something that you want to see succeed and it's in your price point, it's not going out your way, then yeah, you should just go buy it, because then it gets the individual themselves more encouragement to make more of it, and or the company who is under the individual can see that there's value in it, so they'll help, so they'll allow the individual who's working under them they'll let them stay on so they can make more. So, and one thing I noticed about this whole Milestones, his new history of Dakotaverse, was it was ranked top 10. So all of us who did pay for it and to help, so this way we can make DC know that people want more Milestone, we did a good job, because it was in the top 10 in February, and it came out near the end of February, and it was in the top 10. So that is where they set this up to fail. They could have put this up in mid-February, so this way more people can get involved in it. or early February. They put this at the end. They kind of wanted this to fail, and it didn't. And it became a top 10 within the month of February. And I hope it somewhat still isn't like a top 20 in sales in like March. And that's all I got to say, man. I know it sounds pretty shady in the end, but whatever. Hope you guys enjoyed. Ciao.